officer, I can explain. Listen, I'm not like those Honda, what Honda kids and all that. You see, I'm driving a BMW. I'm like a grandpa driver. I would never do crazy front wheel drive craziness. Hey guys, this is AtariBot, and today we are going to be looking at why you should not replace your metal valve cover on your N52 BMW engine with a plastic one, which I thought, for $100 from Amazon would be a great deal. But, it turned out it was not a great deal, and it has not worked out well for me. Now, could somebody else make this work? I don't know. Maybe. It's for another YouTuber to find out. Not me. Now this magnesium always turns black, but when you get them, when magnesium's brand new, it's all bright and shiny and silvery white, But over time it turns this dark gray. It'll even blacken out a little bit. But yeah, and that's why we replaced it, was that hole there. That would be the reason. But here, I'm gonna let you talk to this other guy. He's kind of a fool, but whatever. Turns out some people might have been right. It gets at least smaller. I changed the cap, and maybe it wasn't a BMW cap, but yeah, it still leaks. But it could be that I'm using the cap for the metal valve cover or something. I don't know what's going on there. Also could be that stuff just may not be sealing right somewhere, and the torque may not be perfect on these. Made a decision based on the problems I've had so far. I don't know where this oil's exactly coming from, but to have these new Delphi style coils in and have this new valve cover, look, it's already leaking here, and yeah, some another YouTuber had told me not to go this route, and I didn't listen to him. But he will gloat really hard, so I'm not going to even say his name. British fellow. Anyway, he would say I was daft. Maybe he already said that. I don't know. But let me show you what you have to understand. This is a brand new metal one. Brand new BMW. See that? I'm not going to discuss how much I paid for this. Brand spanking new though. It must be something they do in the factory, because there's like a little bit of bolt marks here, but nothing on this one. So it must be something they have to secure it down. Oh, probably to put these in and stuff. But yeah, brand new. Still got markings and stuff. I don't know. There's the old one. Oh, we're missing a sticker. I wonder if I get this now. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just order a new one somehow. Does the sticker really matter? It's going to be under a plastic cover. Is it that big of a deal? To me, sometimes. I don't know. Look at this. The hole. The original reason I went to replace the valve cover. That's how I bought the vehicle. Oh, no tag. That's right, car's going. It's up for sale now. Comes with those chrome rims. One of those chrome rims have flat tire, but it's got brand new front tires on it. Back tires aren't too bad. I don't like having new tires on the back anyway. You got good tread. So if you have any plans on burnouts, you know, you want them old harder tires. They just light up quicker. They spin faster. I don't know. They slip easier. That's what it is. So yeah, all this stuff's gonna go away, and we'll actually ground through the valve cover. Red ground cables, go figure. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, all that's gonna go back to normal. But I mean, I'm not like saying that this wasn't a cheap alternative that didn't completely work at all. I mean, it kind of worked at first, and maybe with some more torque, you know, you can see where these gaskets are already. They just kind of squeeze out, you know, and then you can almost see the flex going around in the plastic. Now it could be too that I just used a cheap made in China valve cover, which is possible. I mean, it was $100. You know, it's tempting. You know, the price of this is like 1/6 the price of the metal one I just got. So it wasn't cheap, and I'm sure they're not getting any cheaper, which is going to make these cars more valuable, I think. But at the same time, they're, you know, as reliable as these engines are, when something does go wrong, it is not cheap to fix it. That's why it's time for me to let it go. I kind of want something that doesn't surprise me all the time. Every time I need to fix something, it's not every time like 2 or 3 times the price of what any other car would normally cost to fix that particular item. So yeah, if you're looking for a Beamer, see, that sticker's faded to 0. I don't know why. It's not perfect. We're gonna get it close as we can though. And this rubber strip right here, and this wire here was when I got the car. This strip just pulls right off. That's what I was trying to say. When I got the car, I mean, these bolts were already boogered up by I think the previous owner had tried to remove these bolts with some pliers. Anyway, and maybe had routed this wire wrong, because I'd never moved it. I kept just putting this back. I have taken this off a couple times, but I kept putting this wire back in the same place. But I'm starting to think that the wire actually is supposed to come out down here and go around under. Anyway, you know, to unplug these, you just squeeze this little tab here and pull that out. And, same with the bottom one, but the tab's going to be on the very bottom edge. Really tricky to get out. Might need a pick or something to get that loose. But 13 millimeter, just a quarter turn on those. Same on the other side. And then on this black bar here, pop it over, and this will lift up. Look at that. Oh, look at that. And you can just undo that like that. You got fingernails or thumbnails. Wash your leaves. South Carolina. It's a little leafy here. Pine needles too. Oh, the trees here though, you gotta look out for. They try to mess up the paint and do stuff. And we also got some more of these 13s down here. They're the same kind of approach. You want to just give them a little half turn, a little quarter turn. Oh, and these things, they just pop out. Oh wait, this thing. I forgot about it. Was there something that holds it in? Oh yeah. There's this little finger thing. You pull up on it. Not to beat on it. Oh, look at there. It's another 13 millimeter. Never know. They're everywhere. Yeah. Should be loose. Something should be loose. Something's holding it over here. I think it just kind of hinges. Let's go to the other side. These aren't. These are just like not lining up with anything. Well, that should be loose. It looks like it's lined up loose or something. Uh-huh. This side. Oh, there's another one in over here. I missed one. Okay, there's 3 of them around each one of them. There we go. There's 3 of those. 3 of them. Let's see. I gotta look under here. Oh, there's not. Maybe that's where the wire goes. I thought there was gonna be a. Get these leaves out of here. I thought there was going to be like a hole down inside of here that passed the wiring through, but that's not. Maybe it could go through here. There's another, yeah, I don't know. I think the problem was is that it didn't, I think I've looked at this before and it didn't reach. The reason we're taking all this out of the way is to make it easier to get the valve cover out. There's some bolts. So I'm going to show you too how I managed to make the plastic one work despite the difference in design. Maybe somebody else wants to have a go at it. It didn't work out for me. See back here, this is meant to go on the metal one, so I put a little piece of tube here. That could be part of my problem too. So I felt like the tube was sealing, so you can kind of see. It kind of like shrunk onto the O-rings. But yeah, that was my solution for that. The other thing I had to deal with was this extra PCV hose, and what I did was I ran it to a splitter, and I just ran both systems like that. Maybe that's also contributing to some of the issues I'm having. Let me know in the comments what you think, you know. But I've cleaned and replaced everything below this intake, basically, that has to do with that system. All those plastic hoses and the heater hoses and all that got replaced. That's a brand new hose there. One right there. All those hoses have been replaced under there, along with that canister and stuff. I also put a new starter. If I have it, I've probably already. I'll put up. I've already recorded the starter video, but I never put it up. I don't know why. It might go up before this video. It probably will. Yeah, there's a new starter down there though. Anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. Now I know a lot of mechanics say you want to be using a pair of good needle nose pliers or vice grips on these, you know, to grab around the edges, you know. But no, I would say, you know, what you really want is a half-inch impact. If you can, you know, maybe a 3/4 or a 1-inch impact, and a T45 socket. I'll get that, and you want to make sure you have it turned up to its highest setting. Have it in the right direction. And you might be able to use a 1/4-inch ratchet on this. I don't know. Better be on the safe side. Use the 1/2-inch impact. Just to take them out. You probably want the 1-inch impact when you put them back in. Or the needle nose pliers. Be on the safe side. That one came out. That's what they should look like. Not too nasty, but shouldn't have been that bad. That's for sure. Short amount of time this valve cover's been on. Oh, I already pulled the first one. It wasn't that bad. I wasn't expecting anything bad, really. Last one was came out clean though, but it was hard to get out. The clean ones were hard to get out. The ones with a little bit of oil on them. Want to see? Not even 3,000 miles. Or maybe torque specs weren't perfect. That could be it too. I can't talk too much about like, hey, this was a cheap Chinese valve cover. That could very well be it. No amount of torquing properly will fix things, but I don't know. We're going to the metal one though, so bye-bye plastic. Squeeze these, squeeze and pull. Now this one you got these little hooks on the side. If you can get your thumbnail or fingernail in there, you might be able to get that, but you're probably going to have to use some picks. butane. Should not have that much oil. That's because of that seal too. Now that can also be part of my problems, because if this connection's not right, it'll throw off Vano stuff. It's always Vano stuff, right? On these engines, it's probably the Vanos. Anybody talk to? Anything's wrong with these 3.0s, it's always the Vanos. So anybody says it's the Vanos. It's your Vanos. Your Vanos is messing up. Half the time they don't know what a Vanos is. I'm not even clear on what Vanos is at this point. No, okay. How great that was. These are T30. Not here. Okay, there are two E8s on each side of this. I'm going to take those loose. Okay. These were T30s. And you got two E8s on the other side of those. Oh, that scared me. Was I supposed to do something? I seem to be holding the cam in place. Oh well. Just chunk this in the yard. Okay. Look, when I pulled this hose off, it occurs to me, like, maybe this isn't the best seal. But make matters worse, apparently it's loose. I replaced this, but maybe I must not have gotten it snapped on all the way. So maybe that could also be contributing to some of the problems I was recently having. I mean, it ran and drove. But like I said, it was just the oil coming out, and it wasn't perfect. You could tell. Man, I hope it's perfect after what I go through here. I know that metal valve cover is going to save the day. You don't spend that much money and it's not going to save the day. The bolts in the middle are 10 millimeters. These are E10s. They go around. I'm going to leave the fuel injector rail on it. I got all this loose. Now I'm just going to take the bolts straight out of these holes. Probably got a couple out there. Just to tell that the plastic really just kind of warped and didn't. Anyway, did I miss a bolt? I don't see anything. Huh. So yeah, this valve cover is just amazing. I don't know if maybe it's something else Hmm. Sure, there's a sequence here, but I'm not going to reuse this. You may have to loosen this harness here. It's loose enough to turn by hand, but it's very hard to get your hand in there. That's how I'm going to do it, because it's pretty loose. Sure hope I got all these backed out far enough. You know how they try to work themselves back in. These are 10 millimeter. Here. Go ahead and get those out of the way. I think all that's left is lifting it up and taking it out. Like they didn't want to come out over there. Or am I missing one? Yeah, now this one's catching. They're all loose. Okay. We got them. What am I not seeing here? What's in my way? I don't see in my way. I don't know what it is. Something's back here blocking. Should lift straight up. There should be nothing. I see. It's just the angle coming around this thing here. makes it difficult. There it is. More dripping oil. Not looking too bad. We're going to clean up a little bit here. Got my hose reattached. Looks about as clean as it was the first time I got it. It wasn't that much worse. I did wipe it down a little bit. But the important thing is that our cams seem to be clocked exactly the same. So our timing chain is holding up. Remember, we put a new timing chain, new guides, all that good stuff. I was gonna put the tool on it and double check everything, but nah, I'm too lazy. I'm happy. Everything looks good enough to me. I did clean this out because this had some oil build up in there. I used some mass airflow sensor cleaner. Hopefully I didn't wash too much down into those pins. Well, the bolts I had to buy separate because the ones that came with the other valve cover went to that valve cover. The bolts are different for the metal valve cover. I also got a new one of these gaskets, which might be the same, but this is supposed to be original equipment, although it still has holes, even though the metal valve cover doesn't have places for those to line up for. But anyway, I'm gonna open this up. The little tabs have to face down. Huh. It would appear I've got it upside down or backwards or something. Just like that. Everything must be in the way. Just gently wiggle everything out of your way, but don't. Okay, so I cannot find the alignment tabs that lined up the holes. So what I'm going to do is just hold this gasket up along its edges. I know that it lines up on, and get the bolts locked down a little bit to hold the gasket in place where it should be. I really not a big deal. They just help you line up that gasket, and you really, with those eye holes, whatever you call them. Wires from falling under the valve cover is the trick. Out of there. Why do you want to be under there so bad? Oh, these cables too, they want to go under it. No. You need everything to be over. Now we can line up our bolt holes. Also, I took this off the old valve cover, which was sitting outside, so I cleaned some of this rust off of it, but I can't get too aggressive because of the rubber here. And, but obviously my new gasket does not look like this gasket, so I was like, well, that's not going to work. Probably won't work, because all this stuff kind of... I tried the old gasket and it didn't quite sit right, so I was like, well, no. I'm going to have to get the really old gasket from the old metal valve cover, and it seems to sit right. Assuming that everything's going to line up. It looks like it sits just right. So, hopefully, the rubber's still good on it. I don't see any cracks. I hate reusing a gasket like that. But it's not too hard to change out, you know, if things don't work out right. The other thing you gotta watch out for is this piece here. Is it will, you'll break those ears off if you're not careful. You don't sit directly, just right like that. You know, like I said, you can still move this gasket around because I don't have the eye holes, but you can line it up dead on. You know, get all your holes lined up dead on, and then get some snug down a little bit so it won't move around on you. And then go around and snug the rest of them down the torque spec. Just tightening these by hand. Put them in all by hand. Definitely the easiest way to line everything up is with the snug these center 3 10mm bolts first with the bigger, thicker washers. Then go back around and hit these other ones. Now it's just going to be going around tightening all these and snugging them down. I really don't feel really good about the bolts being made out of aluminum, so I'm just going to fill these out by hand and just go as lightly as I can, and then go back and snug them a little bit more after I've done that, and maybe warm the car up some, and then go back, let it cool off, then crank them down some more. I have my weird ways, people. I don't recommend doing that unless you're highly experienced at tightening down aluminum bolts and stuff. But anyway, look up the torque spec. That's what I would advise. Just because it's not what I'm going to do doesn't mean you should do it that way. Alright, on to the next part. Make sure you tighten that bolt underneath there before you do that. These are all E8. I'm gonna hook this hose back up back here. Yeah. Well, actually, it's the first time it's ever been hooked up properly. All right. So that one's hooked up. I'm gonna leave these loose because all this stuff's getting hooked up to that plastic piece when it comes on later on. The problem is I'm holding a camera and a wrench all at the same time, and still trying to see what I'm doing. But you get the idea. Finally it's snug down. We're going to secure the wiring harness down. Two 10mm bolts here and here. Slack on your ground strap. Don't tighten it up so that there's no slack here, because your engine's going to want to torque a little bit, so you don't want this to be like a holdback strap. Engine torque or anything. Now I'm just using a hand wrench, just tightening these down. It's not a filter, it's just the way the light is. Time to say goodbye. It's time to sell the BMW. It's been a good car. That car there, it's my next project. What I would have liked, this was the largest, last naturally aspirated inline 6 BMW ever made, and it had the multi-stage intake in it. I would have loved to have taken the motor out of this one and put it in that one, but man, the work. So I've got to sell this, guys. Never took that tin out. Came with that tent, stayed with that tent. But it's a pretty cool vehicle overall. Still got some junk here, but these things are cool. I'll tell you what else is cool. It's got this, anybody thinking about buying it, it's a walk around too. But there's a button right here, and when I push that, sunshade goes up. How awesome is that? But yeah, I'm just buttoning up some stuff here, just getting it cleaned out. Don't want bang stuff. Oh, these hit like that. And this one, I suppose you could just do like that, but I don't like that because it seems like it's gonna break it one day. So I don't do that. Yeah. Got leather. Not bad, is it? Look at the leather. Oh, goodness. It's like the seat's perfect. How? This thing. Shine. Too shiny. Too reflective. Arctic silver is the color. Put a new cabin air filter. Gotta put that back in. Goes behind the thing. It's got a. Let's pop the hood. Let's pop the hood. We'll talk about it something. We ain't talked about this car in a long time. I can reach it. Stereo's amazing on this thing. Like, everything's so good. Put a can and air filter in it. And change the put an actual magnesium valve cover in there. That wasn't cheap. There's an actual metal outlet there. All the little upgrades. Oh, it's got the AC Delco ignition coils. But it's all these too. These performance ones. I think I'm gonna include these as well. And there's the old air filter. It's still good. And there's a bunch of bolts. Stuff. If you want to have the old valve covers, you get the plastic that goes on the bottom. You need some new attachment pieces or something. That's why it's not down there. But it's not necessary, but some people say it is. But yeah, whatever. It's going to be your car soon. You do whatever you want. New tranny pan. I got these solenoids. I haven't needed them, but I'm told it may need them. And it's like $300 labor or something to just drop the part that you need. It's held in by 4 bolts. You drop that out and you can pop these in. It's not even that much if you find a good tranny, honest tranny guy out there that'll do it for the right price. But that's hard to find too. But other than that, it's not a big deal. You could even do this yourself if you have a lift. These are real easy to put in. May not even need to if you drive it easy. But if you're gonna get into it, somewhere in 3rd and 4th gear, it tends to mess up because of these, I think. You might be able to do something else. I mean, mechanically, the whole car is so sound. I can't knock this car. I mean, I'm selling it, so what? Good car. We had good times. As soon as this other car. This car next to it. This one here. That's going to be the new project car. This one, bye-bye. It could have been something. Let it be something for somebody else's YouTube channel or whatever. Hey guys, this is Tarbot, and once again I want to let you know that the car really is for sale, and I really do believe that Vanos solenoid could very well fix the check engine light and everything wrong there. But yeah, it's been a great car, but it's time to say goodbye to this car. Don't be tempted by the valve cover deal though. You know, I mean, I know $100, you know, you think, oh, it's a great deal, and Amazon says it'll fit my car. I have bad news for you. It's not great, but look at this car. Look at this car. I wrote a song Okay, I didn't really write. I made a parody song based on, I think you'll figure it out. Pearl Jam thing, you know. I seem to recognize your come. So I'm familiar. Can't seem to place it. Looks kind of like a new coming somehow faster. I'm catching up with me. BMWs take first place. They cost a bit to maintain, but even broken always gets there. Fart cannons, let's go! Do not attach a fart cannon. Don't do it. Let's turn off that effect. How do you like this? This is the true meaning of a professional microphone in a professional studio, if only it actually was in a professional studio.